Breaking news that could change life of every adult in Britain. Keir Starmer is introducing something not since World War II, mandatory ID cards. But this time they are digital and they are being called the Brit Card. So what does it mean for you, your job and your privacy? Stay with me because by the end of this video, you will know exactly how this could affect your daily life. The announcement breakdown. So here's what we know. On Thursday, September 25, 2025, Prime Minister Keir Starmer announced plans for a mandatory digital ID scheme for every adult in Britain. This isn't just a proposal. This is happening, though it will need consultation and legislation first. Let me break down the key details. What is the Brit Card? It is a digital identity card that verifies your right to live and work in the UK. It will be accessed through a smartphone app. Anyone starting a new job or renting a home will need to show it. It gets checked against a central government database. When is this happening? There will be a consultation period first. Legislation will be required. The goal is implementation by the end of this parliament. It will be provided free of charge by the state. Now, let's look at the immigration angle. Let's talk about why Starmer is doing this. Because the primary driver isn't convenience, it's immigration control. The government's argument is straightforward. If you can't prove you have the right to work in the UK through this system, employers legally can't hire you. This is meant to crack down on what they call the black economy. People working illegally without proper documentation in the UK. Now, the Estonia model. The government keeps pointing out to Estonia as a model. So let's look at what that actually means. Estonia has probably the most advanced digital government system in the world. 90% of Estonian citizens use their national electronic identity to access government services. You can vote online, get prescriptions, pay taxes, even register a company in 18 minutes from a coffee shop. The key difference? Estonians are assigned an ID number at birth that follows them for life. Everything in their system is built around that single identifier. The UK, by contrast, has what experts call as chaos. We use passport numbers, NHS number, national insurance number, driving license numbers. None of them talk to each other properly. Estonia claims this digitalization saves them about 2% of their GDP annually through increased efficiency and reduced costs. Their entire government system runs for around 100 million euros per year. But here's the crucial part. Estonians can see who accesses their data and when. This transparency is what makes their system acceptable to citizens who might otherwise worry about government surveillance. Now, public opinion and opposition. So what do British people actually think about this? The polling is more complex than you might expect. According to IPOS polling from July 2025, 50% of Britons support the introduction of national ID cards in principle. Support is strongest among over 55 years of age at 66%, and politically conservative voters are most supportive at 74%. But here's the catch. When people were asked specifically about digital ID cards, after learning more about the implications, support dropped significantly to just 38% in favor and 32% opposed. The concerns are real. 51% of Britons lack confidence in the government to hold personal information securely, and 61% don't believe the government could introduce this scheme smoothly. Now, let's get practical about who this affects and how. If you are a British, you will need to get this digital ID to start any new job. Landlords will likely require it for new tenancies. It's supposed to be free, but you will need a smartphone or alternative access method. The government says there will be fallback systems for people without smartphones. Now, if you're on a visa, this could actually make your life easier by providing clear, instant verification of your work rights. No more carrying physical documents or waiting for employer checks. But any visa changes or renewals will need to be immediately updated in the system. And if you're an employer, you will be required to check every new hire against the central database. This could eliminate the current confusion around right to work checks, but you will need to invest in the technology and training to use the system properly. If you're digitally excluded, this is the big concern. The government found over 2 million UK voters lack appropriate photo ID when they introduced voter ID requirements. 2.1 million Britons are completely offline. The government promises offline alternatives, but details are sparse now. The broader implications. This isn't just about immigration control. The Tony Blair Institute, which has been pushing hard for this system, sees it as the foundation for transforming all public services. Their vision? A super digital ID card that would let you access NHS services, claim benefits, report potholes, basically interact with the government in ways we have never seen before. The economic argument is compelling. They estimate a UK-wide digital ID could deliver a £2 billion annually in benefits through reduced benefit, fraud, increased tax revenue, and more accurate targeting of crisis support. Running costs would be around £100 million per year. So what's the actual timeline here? The government has laid out a clear path. Number one is consultation phase. This is starting now and will determine how the system handles people without smartphones, privacy protections, and implementation details. Number two, legislation. Parliament will need to pass laws making this mandatory and creating the legal framework. Number three, rollout. The target is to have this operational by the end of this parliament. Number four, integration. Initially focus on right to work and right to rent checks, but likely to expand to other government services as well. Now, before we conclude, look, whether you support this or oppose it, one thing is clear. This is the biggest change to how we prove our identity in Britain since World War II. It's going to affect every adult in the country, and the details of how it's implemented will matter enormously. My take? The immigration argument alone won't justify the system if it can't deliver on privacy protection and digital inclusion. But if done right, following Estonia's model of transparency and citizenship control, it could genuinely transform how we interact with the government services. The key question isn't whether this is happening. Mr. Starmer has made that clear. The real question is whether they will learn from the failures of Blair's ID card attempt in the 2000s and create something that genuinely serves citizens rather than simply monitoring them. What do you think? Are you worried about the privacy, excited about the convenience, or focus on the immigration implications? Let me know in the comments below.